Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 11. Let's be honest. Okay. Can you say filler episode? Yes, we can. What's that on my lip? Anyway, if you're new here, welcome. Okay. We do reviews here, okay. If you are new here, welcome back. Welcome. Well, if you're not new here, you're returning. Welcome back. Lord have mercy. Listen. This is thunderstorm over here. I'm kind of like listening to this thunderstorm. I'm hoping the lights don't go out. Okay. Anyway, give me a thumbs up, like and share and subscribe and comment to my channel, and we will begin. We're gonna try to get this in the end because we don't know the light gonna go out. Anyway, so Angela and Charles cracks me up. Charles reminds me of the men in my family, Jesus. Okay, the men in my family. Yes. Good. He from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland. He reminds me of the quintessential Clevelander man. Okay, but anyway, Angela and Charles go out to lunch. Angela wants everybody to know that he's a pension earning retired NBA player. Okay, he is a pension earning. Okay, he also has some car washes in New York. Okay, and he's also a coach for the big three. Okay, so she wants you to know that he doing many things. Okay, many things. So ain't no problem with the funds over there. Okay, I'm not mad at it. I'm not at it. So producer asked Charles if he loves Angela, and he doesn't answer. I swear to God. I know that type of man. He does love her, but he's not going to be provoked to saying that he love her. And he love her on the things that he does for her. Okay. Just, my dad is the same way. So I can see my daddy and Charles. I can see it. So yeah. So he ain't gonna be provoked to saying it. So you ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it just because you asked the question. Okay. Nah, that ain't how it work with Cleveland men. That's not how it work. He shows he loves her by cooking and cleaning and doing a lot of stuff for her, investing in her properties and stuff like that. The acts of service, okay? All right. He ain't just gonna say it just to be saying it. That ain't working. So Angela needs to have to talk with her sister, but they not talking. Because she went off on Amari, saying I guess she a demon and all that other stuff. Maybe because she is a lesbian or whatever. That don't account for her to go off on her. So Charles said he thinks she needs to cut her off. She said Charles said I want to have peace, and I seen a lot of my a lot of my family, And he said my family was Tyler Perry before it was a Tyler Perry. Yeah. He said so basically his family has so much drama in it. It was like a Tyler Perry movie. Before it was a Tyler Perry movie, it was Charles Oakley's family. Yeah, I got you. I understand. My family didn't have that drama. Okay, so that's not a Cleveland thing. Okay, that's not because neither one of my side family had all them issues. We had little issues. We had basic issues, but we ain't have a lot of issues. Nope, neither one of them outside my family. Anyway, That's neither here nor there. But she gonna meet up with her mama and ask her why she ain't, take up for her daughter when her sister was going off on her. All right, so they'll meet up in a minute. So Cynthia and Shamea does meet up. They do meet up. Shamea is venting about the non-existent friendship between her and Porsha. Shamea said that she didn't talk about Porsha to Angela and Drew. She said they talked to me about how Porsha is not a good friend to me. She ain't say nothing about Porsha and Shamea. And so then she said, and then Dirty Diana said that Shamea, well, apparently Dirty Diana and Shamea mama was best friends when they were coming up, I guess in their 20s, because they looked like they was in their 20s in that picture. And apparently something happened that Shamea don't want to talk about. Something happened to that friendship. And I think it was over a man. I think it was over a man, because the apple don't fall far from the tree. And I say that's with Porsha and Dirty Diana. Okay. So, what else? Okay. Yeah. So we don't know what happened with that. But yeah. So Shamea don't want to talk about what happened between their friendship, but But I guess Dirty Diana saying that Shamea don't fall far from the tree as far as her and her mama. But I think it's the other way around. But who knows? So Cynthia was like, I hate to see that that your friendship is being, broken. She was like, because, I would love to have a Shamea friendship. She was like, I may be up for grabs. And so she was like, I may be up for grabs, If me and Porsha don't work out, I may be up for grabs. I said, no, that's right. So Kelly is checking up on her restaurant. That food looks really good, okay? Now, Pistol Grip Britt is trying on some dresses for her man. Yeah, whatever. And Shamea's playing her single for her real friends. Not for her fake friends, okay? So Angela and Cynthia take peach juice. Porsha bowling. And so Cynthia shows up. No, Porsha shows up and she starts to twerk again. Okay. So Cynthia is like looking at Porsha's butt. And then she looking at Angela's butt. But Cynthia, you got a big butt too. And she was just like, I can't concentrate with both of these asses here and all that other stuff. Cynthia, you want a lesbian experience so bad, a bisexual experience or whatever experience so bad, and you were trying to hit up Candy. You were trying to hit up Porsha. You kissed somebody. You kissed some girl. Some co-star. It may have been Candy. I don't know. You kissed somebody, and you've been wanting a lesbian encounter. So I wish you find it. I wish you stop commenting on asses and stuff like that, and I wish you just go ahead and experience. Go ahead and get your experience and then tell everybody what happened. Okay. You should have got into that room with Tanya and Bolo and Porsha. It was all going down in that room. Okay. You should have got in that room. I'm quite sure they'd have turned you on and turned you out. Okay. Yeah. You should have got your experience because Latoya and Porsha was kissing. We don't know what Drew already got her experience too. Mm-hmm. Ty Young, honey. Okay. Anyway, Angela wants to bring up the bumpers. Girl. Girl. Girl.
Stop it. Get some help.
Girl. You know the bumpers for them kids. What she talking about? Can we pull out the bumpers? Girl, if you don't, sit your ass down and bowl and get gutter balls like the rest of the adults. Girl. Anyway. And then Angela was like, don't give me no old balls. And then Portia was like, she said, what she said? I thought you like old balls. Yeah, do you do too, boo? Ain't ain't Simon and Charles the same age? And you younger than what's that child named Angela anyway. So you like old balls too, don't you try? So then they sit down, Portia going over how PJ talking about the divorce and how she missing Simon and how she missing her because she going to work. She a working mom now. Girl. Girl. I can't even say nothing, man. I can't even say nothing. Girl. What? I can't even say that. What? Portia. PJ don't care nothing about Simon. She don't care nothing about Simon. She got a daddy. Okay, she got a daddy. In town. That y'all share custody. Y'all even got an au pair to share custody. What you get an au pair for if your child is going through all this trauma? What you get an au pair for? You can do Pamper by Porsha at the house. Okay? Okay. Okay. You ain't got what's your other job? Pamper by Porsha, and you can take her with you to the office. Well, she in school now. Girl. Okay, I cannot with Porsha. I cannot. You work my nerves, and I was excited about you coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but you have been a dud since you've been back. A dud. Okay. Oh my God. Anyway. So Porsha saying, I wanted Pamper by Porsha event to be a celebration of us as individual women and come together and have in the end and have peace. But now it seems like I'm a horrible friend, and mentally I just can't right now. Well, you are a horrible friend, okay? And you was a horrible friend before you got a divorce, though. Before you was in a divorce, you was a horrible friend back then. Okay, you was a horrible friend that you ain't go to this child's wedding in Nigeria, Kenya, wherever. You been a horrible friend. You was a horrible friend when you let Phaedra talk about Shamea and Candy and Todd doing like this here. You was a horrible friend then, and you ain't check her. You was a horrible friend then. You been a horrible friend. That's nothing new. That is nothing new about you being a horrible friend. You been a horrible friend. Ain't nothing new. So And Porsha in the confessional saying, I don't want to divorce my best friend too. You've already divorced your best friend. You've already did it. Okay? Anyway. So Drew tells her mama that Ralph attorney, Red Pumps, okay, is trying to get Drew's attorney, Bad Wig, off the case. Okay? Okay? Because he's trying to get uh uh um he trying to get rightful ownership of Drew Sidor LLC. So she made up another uh Drew Sidor 2 LLC. I don't know what it's called. And so he trying to her his attorney trying to get her attorney thrown off the case. Bad wig thrown off the case. So then he also changed the locks on the security system. So she was locked out of her house, and so she had to go to a hotel and stay the night. Honey, please. I Okay. Anyway, we'll get to them in a minute. Okay. So the next thing, Angela's mom, La Margaret, comes over. La Margaret, honey, La Margaret was looking good, honey. She had her wig tight. She had her makeup done and everything like that. She was hot. She was hot to try. Rest in peace, La Margaret. I've heard she since this air since you have since passed. Since this aired. I think she passed in October. So rest in heaven, La Margaret, honey. But you was tight to death on on this scene, baby. You was tight to death. Okay. All right, you was looking like Angela's sister and not her mama, honey. That's what you was looking like. So, but La Margaret is moving out the house because she don't want to be a burden to her daughter, and also probably because um, I think it has a lot to do with the sister and the daughter, the Angela's daughter, and all that other thing. I think it's tied to it, all of that. But La Margaret said, Miss La Margaret said that she didn't want to be a burden to her daughter. Okay, we don't know what happened since then because did Amari get the house that she bought her mama? I mean, did she stay in the house since they moved out the house? Did she sell the house? You know, I'm just wondering. And what's the sister doing now? Since the sister is not speaking to Angela, and the mama has since passed, what's she doing now? Where's she living? I want to know all of these questions. So Angela, you need to come back next season so we can get into all of your little personal stuff. That's what we need to do. Yeah, with your honorary husband, Charles. Um. So, um, what's her name? Angela wants her mama to stick up for her more than she does with her sister. She stood up against Charles, but that's not that's not her baby. That's not her flesh and blood. So she don't want to stick up against. She don't want to stick up for Angela against her other child. But she'll stick up for her against her husband. Apparently, he says she don't clean up or something, which she probably don't, because Charles clean up all the time. I wouldn't clean up either. Let's do. I'll find something else for us to do. Okay, if you cook and clean, I'll find something else for us to get into. Okay, if you cook and clean, honey, because I don't like neither one of those. Okay, if you cook and clean, I'll find some other stuff we can get into. Okay, okay. Um. So yeah, and they ain't talked for 3 years after he says she couldn't cook, she couldn't clean. you know. But LaMarcus said she still love Charles, because she said they about the same age. Yeah, they about the same age. So Kelly teaching Chloe how to drive. Bless her heart. I can remember those days when I was trying to teach my son. Jesus Christ, he was trying to. He was about to side swipe cars in the subdivision. We didn't even get out onto the street. He about side swipe cars all through the subdivision. Oh my God! And he was good on the driver's side of the car. But on that passenger side, he be getting so close to the curb. I was like, you got to make sure this side and this side. You just can't be knowing this side. You gotta know this side too. Yeah, so I feel her pain. I feel her pain on teaching kids how to drive. Okay. But he has since mastered it. He has since he take my car everywhere he want to go. So, and I trust him. So, yeah. But ooh, them days. So I feel you. I feel you. And she's trying to get this Sandy Springs location open. Okay. All right. So Drew's mama comes over. Drew says that it's been 3 years, um, and she just wants the divorce to end. Oh, it's been 2 years, and but then Drew said that uh, Ralph is a good co-parent, and Pastor Jean was like, "Oh no, Jeanette, okay, oh no." She said, "I beg to differ. He is not a good co-parent if he because he wouldn't try to drag you financially um and beat you over the head and drag you financially, figuratively, not beat you over the head for you." But yeah, he wouldn't be trying to take all your finances and leave you destitute if he was a good parent, because he knows that you got to take care of your children just like he does. So she was like, "I take care of all the children's needs. He pay the bills and she take care of all the children's needs. What is the problem? What is the problem? Why are you so destitute that what do you do for a living?" Because Drew saying he makes good money. Ralph say he make good money. But why you trying to take all of Drew money if you making good money? What is the problem? I don't understand this concept. I don't understand this concept. And why would you be taking money from your kid's mouth? So you're not a good co-parent. I agree with Pastor Jeanette. You're not a good co-parent if you are taking money that's going to feed your children, because she take care of all the children's needs. So how is she going to take care of all the children's needs if you leave her destitute? What in the world is going on? Why are you? Yeah, And then she said, Pastor Jeanette was like, and he shouldn't be living in this basement. She was like, your kids are acting out. Your kids are out of control. She was like, and she said they don't even listen to me. And she said, um and if I can't control the kid, then we know something is wrong. And I said, I know that's right, because if I can't control the kid, something is definitely wrong. Something is definitely wrong. And so then Drew gets up and she goes out crying, and I think Pastor Jeanette was not saying it in a malicious way. She was just saying it to let her know that your kids are out of control, and this is affecting your kids. And so y'all need to figure this out, because this is affecting your kids. I think she just wanted her to be aware. And so then she comes back, and so she did, because she didn't want her to feel bad about saying it. So she comes back And so Mama was like, I'm not gonna live forever. And she was like, oh no, you gonna live forever. That's what I be saying to my mama. I said, oh yo, no, you gonna be living forever. She be saying the same thing, like, I ain't gonna live again. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You and Daddy and Big Mom. I got Big Mommy too. I got Big Mommy. She gonna be 95 this year. You gonna live forever too. Yup. Yup. I ain't playing with y'all. So, yeah, she come back, and so she gonna live forever. That's it. So Shamea meets up with Porsha. Okay. Porsha starts off with apologizing for not opening up her feelings over the years. She said, I she said I didn't like the part of, oh, I don't even know what I wrote on here. But she did say that she apologized for not opening up because she y'all probably could have settled this a long time ago if you would have just let her know what your feelings were. But she said, but what is unsettling to me is that she said, you talk over me, you talk over my music, um you make dismissive posts to me. And she said, and all of it is dismissive. She said, and I feel like you're dismissing me. And so she was like, but moving forward, I feel some sort of way. And then Porsha was like, and she was like, oh, you tired? Am I boring you? And so Porsha was like, well, this is an uncomfortable situation. And so she was like, Shamea was like, well, I'm trying to salvage, possibly salvage this friendship. And so Porsha was like, possibly. And she was like, so you're dismissive again. And so, and then she said, and Miss Diana, no, she said, and she said, your mom said, don't trust me. And, and, and so she was just like, so, and the apple don't fall from far from a tree, things, what Miss Diana said. Oh, the what she say, the dog that carried a bone. I don't know what she said. Something about the dog carrying a bone. Whatever the case may be. Whatever Shamea said, I wish you could be the Porsha that's on camera, this off camera, on camera, basically. But Porsha said they gonna have to pay me more money for me to be my authentic self on camera. Okay, basically, that ain't what she said, but that's what I got out of it. They got to pay her more for her to be her authentic self. And so, um, Shamea said in a confessional, she said, I'm a new peach holder now. She said it don't feel good when people see both sides, and I agree with that. I agree with that. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that because we only seen Portia's side of it, but it don't help none when you see both sides of it. So then Porsha was like, please stop, please stop. And then she goes into the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. And so she come back. And so so she said, I handle my friendship would care with you because you are always in a fragile state. But I got my feelings too. And so, and then she say something else. Shamea say something else, and then Porsha, it was bunch of silverware. Shamea was like, I ain't got no silverware, so it didn't make the sound that it should have made. But yeah, I said, girl. So Portia was like, I don't want to break up with you. I just want to get past it. And then the host starts to cry again. And this is all I can think of when she starts to cry.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Wah. I don't want to fucking hear it.
She starts to cry. No tears. But you tweeted Shamea about not talking about your mama, wrong road, and all that other stuff. You tweeted that. But you crying in this this episode. You crying. But you tweeted wrong road, don't talk about my mama. Girl. Come on, girl. Come on, Portia. Come on. I just can't. Okay? Cause what she said to Cynthia is the same thing she said to you about your mama. Talking about her. That's what she said. She ain't say nothing about your mama. She said your mama was talking about her. But you tweeted, don't be talking about my mama, Shamea. Girl.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay? Girl. Come on.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
It is a bigger piece of dog shit. Girl, Shamea gone somewhere. Anyway, they hugged for now. That was it. Okay? I'm so pissed off of that shit. I don't know what to do. This is your girl, msyelladiva. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and subscribe and comment to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Ciao.